Hey everybody, it's Mike Capera with podcastcondition.com, bringing you the 90, what is it, 94? I can't even tell. I kept trying to get.
94.
So we're doing a shortened version of an episode this week since Google has decided to be a jerk. And again, the invites weren't going out, so I apologize for anyone who's watching and was hoping to jump on. Sorry for you guys for just sitting there waiting for me to send the invites out. Um, but we're here, so let's drink. We've got death labels, and I don't know if everyone's been able to bring that on. I've got mine. It sounded like AJ, you had yours all set and ready to go, according to your texts and messages I was getting from you. How about you, Mike?
Yes, I've got one. I've got one here.
Well, I think you added this to the wheel, so I'll let you go first. Let's hear. Let's see what your death label is.
Sure. I don't know how good. So before I show it, I when I first proposed this, I it was around Halloween time, and I figured, all right, well, death label would be a really interesting category around now because there's a lot of uh, you know, Halloween themed beers and pumpkin beers and a lot of references to ghosts and pumpkins and death and things like that. So I thought, all right, this is a good category. Well, it didn't come up on the wheel until last week, so I thought, well, maybe this is not going to be as interesting as I thought. But in just the relatively small liquor store that is by my house, I went there earlier this week looking for some labels that featured death in some way, or the name of the beer included references to death or something. And there was a whole bunch. I had no trouble finding one. There were several to choose from, which maybe raises the question of why there are so many references to death when it comes to marketing beer. But for tonight's purposes, I actually went with a relatively low key label, and I don't know if it's going to be. It's kind of hard to see, but there is a skull and crossbones kind of in the background of this Stowaway IPA from Baxter Brewing Company in Maine, and I'll send a link to those who have the text ability on here to the label because I didn't think it would show up very well. But it's actually one of the more subdued labels that I had. It's just a skull and crossbones, but I thought it was kind of cool, and it was a brewery that I've seen a lot and I've never tried, so I figured it was a good time to pick it up. Um,
I
but
like the, first of all, I like this brewery's logo. It's like a
yeah,
moose with wings.
yeah, I guess that is their. I did a little reading up on them too earlier, and while I was waiting for the show to start, and yeah, I guess that's their mascot.
Nice.
Um,
Um,
it's a great beer. I guess it's a craft brewery that started in Maine and only a couple of years ago. They're pretty young, and they only can. All their beers are in cans. That's how they distribute. They're pretty much limited to New England at this point. But they're cans only. And this is the first beer that I've had from them. It's their IPA, and it's delicious. It's got a lot of pine, which I like in my IPAs, but it's pretty balanced with some citrus, some grapefruit. You taste a little grapefruit in there. But it's I think it's IBUs, 69 IBUs. I think it says it has. But it tastes like a lot more, just because I think it's so well balanced. Delicious.
I think it looks like they might have done that on purpose because it's 69 IBUs, it's 6.9 ABV. I think they're obsessed with a certain number there.
Yeah, it could be a theme. You're right.
That's cool. I like that label. You're right. It doesn't really show up as well on the camera as it does on that website, but
Yeah.
I put the link in the showcase for anyone who watches the show. They'll see the link there. So that's cool. And I've not heard of this brewery. It looks like they're around since 2011. It says
Yep.
they won New Brewery of the Year in 2011. So looks good. What's the beer look like?
It's got some good color on it. It's got a little bit of a reddish color. But it had a good head on it there when I first poured it, and as I said, it's delicious. It's got a lot. It tastes like a lot more hops than 69 IBUs, and it's very well balanced with the healthy amount of pine flavor, which is one of my favorites. So it's very good.
Nice. All right, AJ, let's see it. What you got there? You're muted. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm actually on a conference call for work that I've been on for 13 and a half hours now. So
Oh, dude, I'm
I'm doing
sorry.
the show while working. So what I have is from Twisted Pines in Colorado. This is the Ghostface Killer.
Mm.
It is brewed with 6 types of chili peppers, which is Serrano, Jalapeno, Habanero, Fresno, and Anaheim, as well as the Ghost Pepper. I've had this before. I smelled it after I poured it. It's horrible. I drank one of these by myself on a hangout probably 5 years ago and regretted it immensely, but for the sake of the Death Label show, I'm going to do it again.
Now, what's horrible about it? What don't you like?
It's completely hot. And I'm not talking hot from an alcohol perspective. I'm talking like burn your esophagus, spicy hot. It's like taking all those peppers and putting them in a blender and then pouring it into the glass and drinking it is how hot it actually is.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it blows Crime and Punishment out of the water from a heat perspective. Crime and Punishment was actually brewed with scorpion peppers, which are hotter than ghost peppers, but I don't know if they just used a little bit just to put it on the label. But like seriously, from a heat perspective, this blows any other pepper beer I've had out of the water. I don't want to drink it.
Well, don't force yourself to drink it, man. Just put the bottle up and then.
Oh, that's painful. Ah.
Yeah, I've learned that I just don't like pepper beers at all. Like none of them. I've tried. That's the only style that I've ever discovered that I just don't like. I just had the that sriracha beer from Rogue. The bottle is awesome. It looks so cool. I love sriracha and I love hot food. I love I put hot sauce on everything, but I just don't like it in beer. I dumped it. I hate saying that, but I dumped it out.
I almost dumped it. I drank that one. I didn't think it had enough heat in it, personally. Like you, I eat a ton of spicy food and hot sauce and all that kind of stuff, so I was hoping it was going to be similar to the Ghostface Killer with the heat, or even as hot as Crime and Punishment, but to me it fell very, very low on the heat scale, and I really didn't get the sriracha out of it, so I almost drain poured it. I forced my way through it, but I mean, for me, if you're gonna drink that with the expectation of getting heat or it tasting like sriracha, you will be severely disappointed.
That dog is making his bed, man. I'm just imagine him like kick that blanket around.
Is she trying to get underneath? Is she trying to get under the blanket?
No, she's literally what she does is she literally makes like a nest out of it. So
Okay.
It has like a little pouch so that she can lay in, and then she just lays down and falls asleep.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because my dog is the only dog I've ever seen that actually gets under blankets. She'll do the same exact thing, but she'll dive under and is.
Yeah, she'll do it sometimes, but most of the time she just wants to make that little pouch so she can rest in, and she feels like it's a big hug.
I can attest to what Mike's saying. I almost sat on your dog because I forgot it was under that blanket one time.
Nice. It's happened before.
So yeah, I've got I got a Death Label beer as well. This is a Chicago brewery here that I actually helped kickstart. I love their bottle caps too. It's Arcade Brewing. I don't know if it's gonna come out focused here, but it's cool. A lot of their labels are. They came out with a grapefruit IPA, which was like one of their first beers that they talked about when they were throwing the Kickstarter out there, and they do a lot of cool stuff regarding their beer labels. They usually will have an artist spec something up and they'll use it, and then they actually will ask their Facebook followers to name the beer based on either the label itself or the or just the style. And a lot of times, people are trying to throw out references to video games and stuff like that because they're arcade brewing. But this is the Graveyard Shift. It's a coffee pale ale, which I don't think. I mean, I've seen some before, and it's got a cool little zombie skeleton dude coming out of the grave. It doesn't show up very good on the camera because their labels are really shiny and smooth, man. It's kind of
Actually, I think I can see it better when you hold it back there.
Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's just the glare from the screen that's I don't know, I can't really think about that, but it's made with dark matter coffee. That's cool. That's a coffee roaster here in Chicago as well that they've been using their coffee for the Dark Lord the last couple of years now. It doesn't say which coffee though. They have a coffee that is the best coffee ever made called Unicorn Blood, and that's what they've been using for the Dark Lord. But this is like, it's the smell of the coffee is awesome because I'm used to either a stout or a porter with coffee, and that's usually pretty standard. But this is different. It's so cool. Like, I don't know, the smell is a little different than what I get when I'm tasting it, but it's like almost like a peanut butter smell when you combine the hop and the coffee to it. It's
Yeah, I was just
interesting.
going to ask you how the hops interact with the coffee.
It's so crazy. I don't know how to. I swear to God, because I've had like peanut butter porters and things like that kind of have a similar smell to it. I really like this beer a lot. I had a friend who was saying that they just had a coffee pale ale, and I was like, was it the Graveyard Shift? And he was like, yeah, I think so. So I got a good recommendation after I even bought it. So I was excited to open this one, and it's good, man. I might grab a couple more of these and share it with you guys in the mail if you guys are interested at all. So that's cool. That was
I would definitely be interested because I think the last coffee IPA I had was the Stone,
Stone. Yeah.
and I drank more of that because it was awful.
What was that one called? I forget. You didn't like it?
No, I thought it was terrible. I didn't have the Dayman. The Dayman
That
was
was
the
the one.
first coffee IPA they put out. I didn't get that one, but they released another one a couple months ago. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of it now. Let me look.
I never got my hands on the day, man. I remember when that came out.
I didn't either.
I was interested, but I just I never saw it, and I never got my hands on it. So. But,
and just to interject, I'm sweating right now from this beer. I'm actually trying to drink it as quickly as possible, just so I can get something else that's cold and drink that after.
You need some carrots and celery and some blue cheese or something.
I know, right? Serve this with a side of blue cheese.
Just dump it and get something else, man. Don't force it. Don't torture yourself.
Dude, no way. I don't dump stuff. Unless it's absolutely necessary, like that Stone Coffee IPA.
I agree. I try not to dump too many out, but I think the only two beers I've ever dumped out have been rogue beers. It was the sriracha and then the Chipotle ale. So I definitely, I guess, don't like peppered beers.
See, I actually enjoy the Chipotle, the rogue Chipotle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just not my style. But it looks like you got a nice little stash there on the table. What's all that about?
Oh yeah, I just got a beer order in today. There's 2 boxes worth of beer, so
Nice.
that's it.
Anything more
And
important?
there's actually like I think three other beers that I have in the fridge right now that came with that. So
Is that a trade or an order?
an order. Yeah.
Where do you order from?
There's one website that actually ships to PA. So
Only one?
I found I used to have 3, and I know that one stopped shipping to PA. I haven't really been to the other one because they just stopped getting like decent stuff. All the stuff they had, I was able to get locally. But there's this one place in California that still ships to PA, and they actually get some really good rare stuff. And I've ordered enough from them that I'm on a list. that they'll send an email to and say, we only got a case of this. Here's a special link. Because you're on the list, go buy it. First come, first serve.
Nice.
So I'm able to get some rare stuff from them once it comes in. But they'll post, I think, four times a week. They'll just post like 4 or 5 beers. Like, hey, we just put these up. First come, first serve. Go get them.
That's cool.
And I just got some grapefruit sculpted in cans, which I'm excited to try. I'm gonna do a side by side after the show with the bottle and the can. See if there's any difference.
I've not had
I got some Evil Twin stuff. I got some Mission Hard Root Beer. So hopefully I'm getting some Not Your Father's Root Beer this weekend, so I wanted to do a comparison between the two of those. And some Almanac stuff and some other random clown shoes and Anderson Valley.
Cool.
Decent order.
I'll have to. I need to start putting my box together for you because I know there's some 3 Floyds I need to send you. There's definitely some Pipeworks. What other guys are you interested in that you can't currently get?
Surprise me, man. If it's anything local to you, odds are I don't get it, other than Goose Island. So.
Well, I mean, we're also getting a lot of stuff like 21st Amendment. I don't know if you can get any of that or if you're.
Yeah, we've had 21st Amendment for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because when I was on the East Coast, I was visiting Mike again, and they had the Back in Black IPA. So.
Yep.
Forgot you guys can get that stuff.
Yeah, I think we get most of their offerings out here. I don't know if I've seen one that hasn't been on the shelf out here.
Yeah, we just started getting them. We just started getting Sweetwater.
I don't think we get Sweetwater out here.
It's pretty good. They had a 12 pack of it's a variety pack of all they do a lot of pilsners and hoppy IPAs and stuff like that. So far so good. But there's a little controversy with their what's it called, the happy ending that they released. I guess marketing wise, it didn't go very well at one of the Binnies here in Chicago. One of the guys that manages, I think the Binnies in Lincoln Park, refused to carry the beer. He'll take anything else, but this one was called Happy Endings, and the label's a little controversial. It's got a little geisha on the label with. And I heard that they were also sending sample bottles out to some of their reps and stuff with a small bottle of lube. So that guy thought it was pretty not good taste and kind of racist. So he decided not to carry that one particular beer for them. But everything else, you know what I haven't had, and since you guys both get 21st Amendment, the one that I haven't grabbed from them yet is the Monk's Blood. And I think it's a quad, Belgian quad, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right. It's delicious. It's probably my favorite one out of their line, I think.
I haven't seen that other than
Yeah, it looked like it came in like 4-packs and cans. That's pretty much how they're distributing.
Yeah, I think it used to be in 6-packs, but I think they've changed a lot of their marketing to 4-packs now.
Yeah, I think it's a 4-pack, and it's also fairly higher priced. I think it's like $14 for a 4-pack.
That's possible.
I could be wrong.
I know Monk's Blood is, I think because of the ABV, they jacked the price up on that one a little bit versus their normal case.
Yeah. So I got a text earlier today that Dan talked you into that festival out here in when is it, in August?
Yeah. Barring anything that like major that prevents me from coming out, I should be there.
Are you booked to fly, or you just got the ticket to the fest?
I'm not. Well, I'm gonna drive.
Oh, that's right.
So that I can bring beer back.
Yeah.
But I just have to get him money, and he said he'll grab me a ticket.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. When is that date? Do you remember?
I don't know offhand.
Because I just don't know how close that is to my kid being born. So
I think it's. Let me just look at my calendar here. It might be August 8th. I want to say it's August 8th.
It's a little too close, but I don't know. I mean, shoot me a message if you're around for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I might try to come out a little early. Maybe we can meet up
That'd be cool.
on a day that's not the fest.
That's cool. Are there any fests going on your guys' end of the country there that you guys have going on, or?
Our beer fests in the Scranton area are terrible. It's no, I'm serious. Like, we don't have a good festival at all. Harrisburg Beer Week is taking place. It started on Saturday, I think. So that's the first ever Harrisburg Beer Week. I know one of the people that was responsible for putting it together, and she did a fantastic job from everything that I've heard. And then in July, we have, I think it's July, is the Lancaster Beer Festival, which I was out to a couple years ago. And that was a really decent fest. And definitely worth the trip if you're in this area.
Nice. How about you, Mike? You got anything going on this summer?
No, nothing. Nothing on the radar. Nothing on the calendar. I know that.
Harpoon usually does some kind of festival, don't they?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that actually. That Harpoon. They do a couple a year actually. But I haven't been to one of those in a while. They're something. It's, I don't know. I mean, they charge admission to get in. They charge you full price for the beers while you're in there. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. I like Harpoon beer, so I've done it a couple times, but it's just not. There's no like the ones that I've been to. There were no special releases or anything like that. You're not getting anything special. It's just that you're spending more money than you normally would spend to drink their beer while standing in a very crowded tent, often in either weather that's too hot or too wet. So I haven't been to one of those in a long time. But no. But they do a couple a season, and they actually. One that I do like is they do a 5K race, and then they have their festival after it. That's a really good time. It's a lot of fun, and so I've done that I did that a couple years, but again, not for a while, and that's in the summer, so that one would be coming up. They do. The Craft Beer Fest in Boston that we both attended a couple of years ago. That is in May, so that's coming up. I haven't made any plans to go, but tickets are still available, so you never know. I think it's at the end of May.
Nice.
But yeah, so I totally forgot about something that's coming up that I'm going to actually. I don't really consider it a fest because it's like one brewery, but this coming Sunday is the Sly Fox Goat Races, which used to be at their Phoenixville location, but this year they're moving it to their Pottsville location. So basically what it is they brew a Maibach every year that is only released at the fest at the brewery. It's accompanied by several rounds of goat racing, which is actually more entertaining than you would think.
That sounds fun.
Because they also have three-legged goats that enter, and I think 3 of the past 4 years, a three-legged goat has actually won the whole thing.
Is that the one that you said they did a Star Wars theme last year because it was on May 4th?
Last year, on May the 4th.
Nice.
What the theme is this year, I'm not sure, but you usually walk out with like a cool Stein or something, and they normally have some pretty decent shirts that they print up that you can get as well. So that's coming up this Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. So if anybody is in the Pottstown area, stop by there. I think it's 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Bring cash because there's no cards. Everything is cash, and you have to buy tickets. So when you first walk in, you buy a bunch of tickets, and you use that for all your beer, and you use that for all the merchandise as well. So it makes it really easy. You don't have to worry about having cash and having cash out. You just buy the tickets right up front, and you're good to go for the rest of the day.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I think Dan was making a trip out to Boston, and I haven't been on at the same time as him since he went out here. Did he end up coming here, and did he have anything to report? And I can get a full story from him next week. But
he did go out there. I think on the show he said that he popped into to Trillium. I think that's about it, though. I mean, he brought some other stuff home,
Oh, good.
and he might have stopped in a couple other breweries that he might not have mentioned. But I remember we were talking about Trillium, and he was kind of describing how how kind of small it was, and just kind of describing it the way you have. It's like
Yeah.
it's interesting. So I wish I had next time we're out there, we'll definitely have to check that place out. But yeah, definitely bring that up next week if you guys are able to get on.
Yeah.
Because I'll be in Hilton Head, South Carolina, and
Is
my
this
wife.
vacation for you?
It is for me. My wife, Ronnie, has to go to a conference, so we're out.
Perfect.
She's going to a conference for a couple of the days, like Monday and Tuesday, maybe a little Wednesday, um, but we're gonna fly out there Saturday, so we'll get to hang out a little bit and relax on Saturday and Sunday, and then when she's not working, we'll be on our little baby moon or whatever you call it. Before, it's our last vacation before the kids are around. So, but she found this festival that's like maybe a mile away from where we're staying. It's the first annual, it looks like. So it's beer, bacon, and music festival. So I'm in. I don't
Yeah.
know. They don't have anything as far as like what beers or anything goes. The website's not very. Uh, it doesn't explain much, but it's got three of my favorite things, so I'm pretty intrigued. So admission is nice and cheap, so it's not too bad. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's actually the day that we fly in. So we may do that
Nice.
right away. Um,
Sounds fun.
yeah, but the only other fest that I've got going on is it's called Beer Under Glass. I know we've mentioned it before on the show. It's the kickoff party for Chicago Craft Beer Week, and hands down, the year I first started going was the second year, so I didn't go the first year, but I've got tickets this year, and we went last year, and it was kind of muddy last year, so it was a bunch of rain that happened like the day before, so the outside it's at this conservatory in it's called Garfield Park, I think, and it's the Garfield Conservatory. It's a beautiful building with plants and all that stuff, but they set up like breweries like through the whole place. And last year they did it all outside, and with all the mud, it was kind of gross. Everyone had to put like covers on their shoes and everything. It didn't really help, but it was something to help. I guess they tried. But it's the year before it was like the best beer fest I've ever been to in Illinois. It was really really awesome, and they brought the best of the best. It was really really good. So looking forward to that, and it looks like there's still tickets available. So if anyone in the Chicago area is thinking that they can't go, it's still for sale. So, but that's the only one that I had going on out here as far as I know. But and I hate to cut this short because it feels like we kind of just jumped on and just opened these beers, but we're heading close to 9 o'clock, and that's usually when I'm gonna have to cut you guys off. So we're gonna go ahead and spin the wheel when we can. Is there anything you guys want to throw on the wheel while the three of us are the only ones here? Feel free to throw out some suggestions.
Can you run through what we've got?
Yeah, let me take a look here. It's getting pulled up slowly.
I think Mike should pick since he picked definitely one.
Yeah. I gotta replace my selection.
All right, I see. We got the wild card, which is usually
It's going to take another like 6 months for us to get to it once he puts up on the list.
Right.
It's true.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Wild card, collaboration, anything local, a beer you can't pronounce. Brandon's famous malt liquor. Death Label, we'll take that guy off since we just hit that. Strange ingredient. Milk stout, brown ale, local brewery seasonal release, corked and caged, 13% or higher, import, nut beer, a goes, ESB, a saison, and a Belgian triple.
I was just gonna say Belgian, but we've got a Belgian. I like
Sorry.
the idea of doing a same brewery. Can we put a brewery on there?
Yeah. Right now, I mean, yeah, we can do that. I mean, it sounds like we can all get 21st Amendment. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know if Brandon can, but we
We actually just did that like 3 or 4 shows ago, didn't we?
21st Amendment.
No, the same brewery.
Oh yeah, we did. We did Dogfish
We
Head.
did. Yeah.
all right, all right.
Let's see. Let's see. It's the season. I don't know. Do we have anything with like fruit on here? Like any? We don't have any sours either.
We could throw caution in the wind and put BMC on there.
Brandon might like that.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I could do that because I have Goose Island, so I'm okay with that. Bust out some.
Shit, I was gonna bring Goose Island.
All right. Let's. I'll throw on sours. If you guys feel strongly about anything else, let me know. I'll throw that on as well.
I was gonna say coffee, but there's a lot
I like.
of so many coffee beers. You could really do anything with it now. It's almost like it's yeah. What about coffee? Let's put it on.
Yeah.
It's like putting on an IPA. It's like if
Yeah.
you've got a type of beer in there, it might as well be a coffee beer.
Yeah. Sounds good. We got it on there. All right. What? I said spin. All right. It's slowly spinning. It looks like. Where are we stopping here? What is that? Local brewery seasonal release.
Oh,
All right. Well, good luck, guys.
It's not bad. It's a good time to do that, actually.
Yeah,
Because
that's not bad. Well, that should be cool. Well, hope you guys enjoy that. I'll be hopefully enjoying 80-degree weather out there in South Carolina. It's supposed to be nice, apparently. All right, cool. I apologize for the short show, everybody. Google, you kind of suck. Sometimes you have to. I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I got to reach out to them and see what that issue is. Because what I did was I changed the time from 8 o'clock to 8:30, and then I tried it again after I restarted the computer, and it worked fine. So maybe that'll be the fix from this point on. But I'll reach out to Google and see if there's anything they suggest to fix that. Anyways, appreciate anyone who watches this. We're on here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find these shows located on our YouTube channel on podcastcondition.com. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all that fun stuff. So join us next week. Bring any beers that you want, but for the ones that want to stick to this style, we're going to be drinking seasonal releases from your local brewery. So cheers, guys. Thanks again for jumping on. We'll talk to you next week, or I'll see you in 2 weeks.
cheers.
Have a good vacation, Mike.
Enjoy.
Thank you, sir. Bye.